What's up, gangsters? This one goes out to the people that think or that believe that there's such thing as laws and rights, justice. All that is bullshit. And I'm telling you that, I'm telling you this from personal experience. Um, growing up, I sort of had an idea that that was a true notion, but I was able to confirm that within the last few years. Growing up, I went to college. I graduated college. I graduated at university, and I had the understanding that laws and all that um, were in place for a reason. Until, like I said, the last few years, I was able to confirm that if you want some sort of justice for whatever crime or whatever reason, you have to implement it. There's no such thing as laws working for you. The laws don't work. They are arbitrary, and they're just an illusion. Uh, Back when I was in jail, I'm gonna give you this example. Back when I was in jail, I was under the impression that even inmates had rights and that laws applied to everyone, whether you wear a badge or not. But while I was in there, I realized that that's not the case. Um, I took a lot of beatings from staff, and they violated laws and rights, my human rights, a whole bunch of other stuff. Um, and in talking to some of the people that I was housed with, they've been, they're either doing life or, have been in the system longer than I have. They were like, hey, you just have to follow the process. If something was done to you, submit a grievance. So that's what I did. I submitted a gang of grievances. And when I saw that that wasn't working, the homies, well, not the homies, but just some of the people that I was around were like, okay, now it's time. Now you have grievances that show or have proof of what's going on, and the abuse of power that these staff members are doing. Now you have the green light to take off on them if you want to. Um, so that's how I got to the point where I was getting ready to do a lot of time, because not a single staff member was reprimanded or was given a corrective action from anybody. There's nobody enforcing laws in there. It's them against inmates. So of course, like I'm pissed. I'm pissed right now, because of all the bullshit that I went through. But I'm pissed in there, so I took it upon myself, and I was taking off on staff. Um, that's how I got to the classification level 5. I was deemed dangerous for inmates and staff. But still, right? Like when I first got there, I wasn't that kind of a violent person. Um, it was their actions that turned me into a path of violence. It's a completely different person that's going through a lot of emotional distress. Um, there's a lot of things that they did that shouldn't have happened, but they happened. Um, and yeah, the system's gonna blame me for my actions, even though I was protecting myself, and I wanted justice to be served. Even now, there's too many things that I have bottled up, and it's just like I'm pissed on me. I don't like people with badges. And I learned that the only way that you can actually gain some sort of bargaining power to um, come up with some sort of solution for the abuse of power that these people with badges have is that you have to resort to violence. You have to let them know and make them understand that they can be touched too. And so that's the path that I was on and I'm currently on right now. I know that I'm not going to run into any of the people with the badges that were abusing their power and they're, leaving me without food, shower time, and every chance they got, they beat the shit out of me, to the point where I was being unconscious and shit. But it just has like a bitter taste in my mouth. And like I said, every person that wears a badge is a straight bitch. And I'm willing to test that theory. You don't see these people out here walking around in their local parks. You don't see these people going to their local businesses. Why? Because they're paranoid. They know they're fucking up in there and they're not going to be able to be out here. Like, I'll test that theory. Um, there's no way that I'm letting that shit go. There's, you know what I mean? Their laws don't work, so scratch that shit out of your head. Um, like rights, you have no rights. They're only implemented like a one way for people who wear badges. They will protect them, whatever the cost. But yeah, the point is, laws don't work. If you want justice, you have to hand it yourself. Don't expect cops, the judge, or anybody that's gonna, you know, help you get justice for what was done to you, or, whatever happened to whatever. Like, you have to implement justice on your own. Nobody's gonna give you that. That's just, food for thought, and it's true. I was able to confirm it.